Why do you keep attracting the same type of person, even when you consciously want something different? Different face, same patterns, same frustration, same ending. And at some point, you start asking yourself, is it just bad luck or is it me? 1. It's not coincidence, it's pattern recognition. This is not random. Your brain is constantly scanning for what feels familiar, not necessarily what is healthy. So, even if someone isn't good for you, if they feel familiar, your brain reads that as safe. 2. Familiar doesn't mean healthy. Here's the part most people don't realize. Familiarity often comes from your past experiences, especially early emotional patterns. The way you learned love, attention, validation, that becomes your internal blueprint. So when you meet someone who matches that pattern, you don't think, this is unhealthy. You think, this feels right. 3. Your subconscious is choosing, not your logic. Consciously, you might want someone stable, emotionally available, calm. But subconsciously, you may be drawn to intensity, unpredictability, or emotional distance.
Why?
Because your brain is trying to recreate what it already understands. Not to hurt you, but to resolve something it never fully processed. 4. The emotional addiction cycle. Sometimes it's not even about the person. It's about the feeling they give you, the highs and lows,
The uncertainty.
the need to earn their attention. That emotional roller coaster can become addictive because your brain starts associating intensity equals connection, struggle equals love. 5. You're not attracting, you're allowing. This might be uncomfortable, but it's important. You're not just attracting the same type of person. You're also tolerating the same behaviors. Because somewhere inside, those behaviors don't immediately register as unacceptable. They feel normal. 6. The role of self-worth. Your self-worth sets the standard for what you accept. If deep down you feel like you have to prove your value, you may unconsciously choose people who make you work for their attention. If you're used to inconsistency, consistency might even feel boring at first. If you're starting to recognize your own patterns right now, pause this video and really think, what feels familiar to me but doesn't actually feel good? And if you want to understand your mind on a deeper level, follow the page because awareness is where change starts. 7. The repetition compulsion psychology explained. In psychology, there's something called repetition compulsion. It's when you unconsciously repeat emotional patterns in an attempt to fix or finally resolve them. So you don't just fall for similar people by accident. Your mind is trying to rewrite an old story, but with the same type of person. You often get the same ending. 8. Why change feels uncomfortable. Choosing differently doesn't feel natural at first. Healthy relationships can feel slower, calmer,
Less intense.
and your brain might interpret that as something is missing. But what's actually missing is chaos. 9. Awareness breaks the cycle. You don't break this pattern by trying harder. You break it by seeing it clearly, by noticing what attracts you initially, what you tend to ignore, what you justify, what you tolerate. Because once something becomes conscious, it stops controlling you in the same way. 10. The real shift. The goal is not to attract different people. The goal is to become someone who no longer feels drawn to what once felt familiar but unhealthy. Because when your internal patterns change, your external choices change automatically.